Supra Mahumapelo's office is concerned about his safety. This past weekend, it released a statement that there has been a threat against his life. It is alleged that hitmen have already been paid a sum of 250,000 rand to assassinate him. Mahumapelo's future hangs in the balance following violent protests in his province over corruption and a lack of service delivery, with residents demanding that he step down. Apparently, talks within the ANC over his exit have now intensified. Joining us now from Mmabatho, we're in the Northwest Province. We've got his spokesperson, Brian Setswambung. Thank you, Brian. Thanks very, very much for being with us here on the program.
Thank you, Leanne.
All right, Brian, can you tell us how did you learn about the threat against the Premier? How do you know it's real?
Well, there are people who have approached the Premier and presented information to him about this plot, which involves a group of people that are basically planning to take his life. And in giving him this information, they have explained that 250,000 rand has been paid to the hitmen who have been hired. The people felt that their conscience would not allow them to keep this information and not divulge it to relevant authorities so that the law enforcement agencies can do their work. So after Premier Mahumapelo received this information, he then approached the Mahikeng police station, where he opened a case of conspiracy to murder.
Yeah. Does he obviously know the individuals behind this?
Well, at this stage, Leanne, we are hoping that the investigations will be able to assist us to uncover or to unmask the people behind this plot, because the information presented to the police, we believe, will be able to assist the investigators to get to the bottom of it, apprehend these people so that they are able to face the full might of the law.
In terms of reasons, any idea what the motive could be to want to assassinate the Premier?
I'm battling to hear you, Leanne, but basically what you will remember that last year there's a councillor that was prosecuted successfully for 5 years for having involved herself in a plot to assassinate the Premier. And last year again, a case was opened with the Mmabatho police station, which involves another councillor who was also planning to assassinate the Premier. So this now would be the third incident involving a plot to assassinate Premier Mahumapelo.
Let me try and ask you again, why? If this is the third attempt to assassinate the Premier, what do you think the motives are behind this?
Could you repeat that, Leanne?
Brian, are you able to hear me? I was asking about the motives. Do you have any idea as to why anybody would want to assassinate the Premier?
Well, we are extremely concerned about that. He is also concerned, but the past two incidents were political in nature, according to the Premier. They revolved around people in the political arena wanting positions. And this one, we are not sure, but he has indicated that it might be attributed to politics.
Okay. Look, he's in a very difficult situation right now, and we cannot ignore that situation, which I want to talk about for a little bit as well. I mean, you've got the likes of the EFF in the province saying that this story has been fabricated, this assassination attempt has been fabricated to try and bring some sympathy towards the Premier and to perhaps take attention away from the calls for his resignation and the heat for him to step down as the Premier of the province. What's your response to that?
It is very unfortunate that such observations are made, Leon, because, as I said, there is a case where a person was successfully prosecuted for having participated in a plot to assassinate Premier Mahumapelo. And last year, again, another one emerged. A case was opened with the police, and the investigations are going on. So this would be the third one. So it becomes very strange for people to suggest that these are just fabrications. Yeah. Premier Mahumapelo views these threats in a very serious manner because, as I'm saying, the law was able to prove through the investigations that in the previous case of Lihurusi Magistrate Court, a person was successfully prosecuted and for 5 years.
Yeah, we obviously are, hearing how defiant the Premier is to want to step down. He's being called to step down by community members, the SACP, a lot of the ANC members, Kusatu. There are a lot of people that want the Premier to vacate. Now, there's also talks that our President, Cyril Ramaphosa, has already met with the Premier. Can you perhaps confirm whether or not this has taken place? And the reports coming out of that, I've seen them in the media this morning, saying that a decision has been reached, that the Premier will resign, but he will stay on as the provincial chair of the province, which basically still keeps him in charge of the ANC structures in the province. Are you able to confirm this?
I am unable to confirm that, Leon. What I can confirm is that the Premier met with the President last week. That one I can confirm. But as to the content of the discussion, one cannot confirm that. But he has stated that the meeting he had with the President last week was a cordial meeting. That's what I can confirm at this stage.
Yeah. Also rumors that Thandi Modise might replace him. Would you like to comment on that?
We have seen that rumor in the newspapers, Leon, and we will treat them as rumors at this stage because you will appreciate as well that there has not really been any pronouncement from either government at national or the ruling party.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there for now. I think this week should prove a little bit more factual with regard to the Premier's future within the province. But we thank you for your time and for talking to us here on the program. This is the Northwest Provincial spokesperson talking to us, Brian Setswambung, talking to us about the threat against Premier Supra Mahumapelo and also his future as Premier of the Northwest.